Hello everybody, in this video I will share with you a new build. This one was absolutely amazing. Not just super fun, super powerful, and if you like really cool effects and everything, you're gonna enjoy it a lot. And this is based on the Dragon King's Cragblade. This you can see, this is scales with Dexterity and Strength, as you can see, mainly Dexterity. You can get this weapon by trading the Remembrance of the Dragon Lord with Enya at the round table hold. Alright, so first of all, the regular attack, there's the weapon attacks regular, there's a combo as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. You have the heavy, and the skill, which is the Thundercloud Form. As you can see, the weapon deals lightning damage as well as physical, and if you execute it, take a look by the way at the FP. Alright, this is not too much, but this is because I'm using this artifact. And this is very important because if I remove it, you can see that you consume much more FP. Alright, so this is why I'm using this one in my build. Alright, let's put it back. Other thing you can do is if you crit enemies and you have a chance to crit enemies, you can use, for example, things related to critical hits that restore FP and HP. Up to you. You can use it if you like. Other thing is that I'm using here is the greatly boost attack power of skills, the Shard of Alexander. I'm using Redegons, just so you know that this one, I'm just going to show you, greatly raises vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity, but also increases damage taken by a similar measure. Something to keep in mind, but it greatly boosts those attributes. All right. Now, you can use Green Turtle Talisman to recover and be able to use it fast, but I discovered that I personally prefer when I'm close range use something that decrease physical damage because I'm probably going to follow with some hits and I'm going to be close to enemies after finishing this move. So for me, again, you can change it, but I'm using the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. Now, in terms of armor, you can use different things. Basically, I want to stay medium load. So I can roll, not heavy roll. I'm using this one that increases the strength, as you can see, by 2. But otherwise, you can use different things. Up to you. Depends on your endurance. You can get something that maybe has a higher poise, or you can play with it whatever you like. All right, just kind of try to balance it with good amount of physical negation and extra attributes overall. But this is interchangeable. Depends on your other stat. If you have more endurance, go with something more robust. Alright, regarding putting points, attribute points, so of course you want a lot of dexterity because this the weapon is mainly dexterity. So as you can see, I went with what I have with above 80. Of course, if you have less, you need to distribute it accordingly. After that, I went with strength, as you can see. You can add a column with the white numbers, right? Endurance, I want some, again, I spend a bit, but not too much, so I can have a good armor. Again, most of the time I'll be probably engaging, disengaging, not just compared to just, let's say, a pure strength build, which is just going to be, to the enemy's face all the time. That's not what I want in this build. In terms of on mind, I spent quite a lot because I wanted to be able to use and spam the ability a lot. Otherwise, you can put less and use talismans that you can restore FP when you do crit, for example. But because I'm not going to do to the face all the time, I prefer having extra mind than going and rely on the talisman to restore FP. Vigor, again, you don't need the extra again compared to a strength build, a very pure strength build. So 40, I think, is enough here. If you're going for pure strength build, you're probably going to put more in vigor as well. Again, I personally prefer going with faith because I want to combine with faith later on. So again, it's up to you if you want to use sorceries or incantations, or maybe if you are progress enough, you can actually use both, of course. But I personally prefer in the next playthrough to just invest more in faith, but it's up to you. All right, so this is what I went for, and let's check out some gameplay. Now, one thing I figured out is you can actually, when you execute the skill, you can actually move between targets depending on the target you lock. So I can do 1, 2, and I can even hit the 3. if I do it in time and I don't spend a lot of time on the other targets and they are close, I can just do it 1, 2, and 3 and move between the targets. Take a look. I'm executing 1, 2, and 3. Now the cool thing about this skill, which is the main thing here, is it can distrap attack, it can drop down enemies fast so you can crit them after. You can even in some cases prevent yourself from getting hit. It does AoE damage, even from the start when you execute this lightning cloud. The fast attacks for the regular are also really nice. And you can deal with with multiple enemies with ease. And the cool thing that if you don't lock, you can actually disengage. I can just point to an area and just disengage from battle outside very, very quickly. You can use it even if you're traversing through an area where it can deal damage to you, like for example lava and stuff. You can just use it to traverse it very fast. Now I personally prefer being closer so you can get more the tick damage of the cloud, of the lightning cloud, because this can really take them down fast. But of course otherwise the damage of the last attack is absolutely crazy. Now here you can see me at level 187, but even before 150, even before, you still can be very, very strong regardless. You just become stronger, of course, the more you level up, but it's very, very strong even early on. So all these tough enemies, you're probably going to think twice before actually engaging them. Here, you just engage. As you can see, I'm activating the cloud, and you just take the enemy down super, super fast. It works against bosses and tough enemies alike. And then I can just move between one enemy to another without actually thinking too much. It just works so well. I'm executing very, very close. You see, it just disrupt the move and he couldn't grab me. And then I continue executing and he's down and I can just finish him. And I find this superb not just against single tanky enemies, but also when I'm facing like a group of enemies, which usually I kind of think twice before engaging, because I really want to disrupt them before they're actually moving, like those two guys you're going to see in a moment. So here, I just disrupt them with the cloud and they can actually react, and I can take them both down very, very fast. And the idea, when I activate it, I know that if there's an enemy around me, it will disrupt the enemy, deal damage, or at least disrupt so I can actually focus and then focus on the enemy again. So I just activate it. And again, remember, I can just switch between targets and it will move and travel between the enemies as I actually execute the skill. As it's actually happening, I can just choose a different target. It kind of reminds me of Redegon. When she activates her skill, she suddenly can change between one player to the other, right? So it's kind of similar in that manner. So as I told you, you can, with this weapon, you can disengage, you can travel faster, travel to a faster area while mid-air using this weapon. You can disrupt enemies' attacks. You can switch between enemy to another, right? You can deal AoE damage with this weapon, with the lightning cloud. I mean, there are so many things, so many benefits, utilities in a single weapon that makes this weapon one of the most versatile weapons in Elden Ring. Even if you're finding very kind of beefy enemies, even those dogs, even if you have several of them, you can still deal with them. As you can see, this is an opportunity to crit. It happens a lot with this weapon. That's why I told you that you can use the other items that allows you to get more FP or HP when you crit, which can be good. This is the Assassin's Christmas Dagger and the Assassin's Cerulean Dagger. Even with my previous Faith Melee build, I remember that I needed to kind of prepare for some of the engagement here. I'm being super aggressive. I can even attack and disengage right after, if I want to. It does make everything so easy dealing with what I first thought there are tough enemies. Some of the enemies that it would take me a few hits, or I need to probably reposition myself. With this weapon, it's just a walk in the park. And even at this stage, I'm using different builds that I'm using, like the melee, and the faith, and then I change to my sorcerer. I try different ones, and I find this build just to offer the best versatility, and just makes everything much easier when I play. In most cases, I don't need even a second chance to eliminate an enemy. I just eliminate those tanky enemies straight away, or even just a few hits after, in some cases. And of course, I recommend upgrading this weapon to +10. Keep in mind, you can't use Ashes of War This is a boss weapon, but again, the skill is so amazing that you're gonna get so much benefit from this weapon, and it's also really, really fun to use as well. After that, you have really nice reach of the weapon, and really so many benefits in a single weapon, it's just insane. And once you play it, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna smash enemies and bosses super fast, and you'll be able to deal with many things without actually thinking too much. Just be aggressive, and you're just gonna smash everything on your way. Yeah, so this is my build. This is what I'm using now. I'm gonna take it to the New Game Plus, another one, and try it out. This is after New Game Plus, the first one. I'm gonna go with the second one with this one. And I just check it thoroughly with so many of the toughest enemies and bosses. It just was so easy. So that's why I'm recommending this one to try it out. I'm sure you're gonna love it. It's super fun to use. It looks great, and it's very versatile as a build with so many things. Remember, you can disrupt, you can evade, you can disengage. You deal lots of damage. You can deal with several enemies. It's great to get bosses, take down, follow with crits. It does everything, all in a single weapon. And yeah, I just of course optimize it a bit to match my playstyle and to match the weapon. And I can tell you that it works amazingly well. So try it out. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. I'll see you with more builds on my channel. Thanks for watching. Cheers.